Today we're painting a really pretty beach, and you can tape your page for a clean border for this painting, but I find taping the page really difficult. Like, it feels like a chore to me. So I'm not taping my page, but you can tape yours if you want to. I'm spraying my watercolors to activate them, and then I'm taking my brush, rinsing it with some water, getting it damp, and then we're just going to start putting colors. Now I am using blues and pinks and purples for this painting. I love that, and it looks really, this combination, I love it. It looks so pretty. But you can pick your own colors for this beach. You can do it in blue only. But the fun is using all these colors, different colors, and you have to experiment with colors to learn how colors work with each other and which color you like to use the most in your paintings. That's how I learn. And I put some blue and then I put some purple and blended it together, and then I'm putting some yellow, and since this is all damp, it's all gonna dry blended together and it will look really pretty at the end. And then I'm adding a pink in between the purple and yellow and just spreading it a little in the purple as well. And again, when it dries, it's going to look so pretty. You will see. So the page in my sketchbook is a square. I will do half the page for the sky and then half will be for water. After I'm done with half the page, now this is the half of my page, I'm done putting in the colors. I'm taking a small piece of tissue and I'm lifting some paint from the yellow to make it look like it's brighter there because we will be doing a little sun there. And then I'm gonna start putting water, but this will be in opposite order. Like, I put the blue and purple and pink and yellow for the sky, and then we're going to do the exact opposite. I'm gonna do it from bottom for the water. I'm gonna put blue first and then purple and then pink and then yellow. So exact opposite of the order that we did for the sky. I hope it's making sense. And then I'm gonna do the same thing, put in the colors as we did for the sky, and as they're damp, they're gonna blend together. And I'm just mixing them all together, but not too much that it all becomes one color. Just let them bleed into each other. And then I'm adding the yellow, just doing the same thing that we did for the sky. It's really simple. Okay, so here my blue from the horizon was bleeding into the yellow, and we don't want that because that will make green, and we don't want green in the sky. So I lifted the paint with a small piece of tissue, and now with a clean dry brush, you could do it with a clean damp brush too. I just have a clean dry brush and I'm going to use it to lift the paint from the water side, and these are going to be waves. I am lifting them in a wavy pattern. You can see these waves, and in between every wave I am cleaning my brush on the paper towel so that my colors don't mix together. But even if they do, it's all part of the experiment of the fun. You can see I go to the sky and then I switch back to the water. I'm just going with my intuition. When you're painting something, let your intuition take over and have fun with it instead of worrying about what it will look like at the end, about the result. Just try to have fun with colors and don't try to control your brush strokes. I think that's the most important thing I've learned since I started making art, and since I stopped controlling my brush strokes, my art has gotten so much better. And then I'm using the paper towel and I'm lifting the paint again, and I'm using the same motion that I used for the waves. So I'm going in straight lines with a slight curve to it, so kind of wavy pattern. I hope this is making sense. And then I'm drying the whole thing with my heat tool. You can wait for it to dry completely if you don't have a heat tool. And now I'm going to start putting in the waves. I'm doing purple and blue waves in the purple section of the water. And as soon as I put in the wave, I soften the bottom of each wave so that it blends beautifully with water. And I'm doing some darker waves right near the bottom part of the painting. And I'm using just different shades of blue as well. as I said, I like to experiment with colors and I just like to have fun with it. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm doing waves in different colors and softening the bottom. And then I'm gonna do some pink waves for the pink section of the water. And I also add some pink waves to the blue part of the water. And as I'm switching colors, I'm also cleaning my brush with water and then wiping it on the paper towel. And this took me a while. It was a lot of fun and I took my time doing these waves, just going with my intuition and putting colors here and there wherever I felt like in the moment. Okay, so for the waves far away, I'm making them a bit smaller since they are farther. And then I'm going over the horizon line with the same pink that I was using for the waves, and this will make the horizon line purple. I did the horizon line blue just to just to create a guide for myself as the center of the painting. And then I'm just going over it to make it purple, and then taking my damp brush, I'm wiggling it over all the pink small waves, and this will make them softer and this will make them blend with each other and the water. We don't want them to look like worms in water, we want them to look like waves. So taking a damp brush and wiggling it over the waves will soften them and make them blend beautifully with that water. And then I'm gonna use my heat tool again. I'm really impatient. I cannot wait for things to dry, for the layers to dry. So I use my heat tool. And then using my gel pen, I'm doing just a little bit of sun. And as soon as I put the gel pen down on paper, I'm blending it with my finger. You can blend your gel pen. And then to soften the sun, I'm putting some tones of yellow. I used lemon yellow and then I'm using medium yellow. I don't know the exact names of the colors because I'm not a professional. And then I'm doing 2 or 3 fluffy clouds in the sky. I didn't want to do too much because we did the detail in the waves. The last step is to draw some birdies flying over the horizon, and the contrast of black with yellow looks really pretty. And our painting is done. I love the colors in this painting. It's so pretty. I would love to go to this place. I hope you had fun watching this video and I hope you recreate this painting, and I will see you in another video.